So, uh, if you think back on your really successful days, the ones where you just felt on top of everything, productive, energized, what was going on there? Was it just luck? Or was it something maybe like structure?
That's exactly the question, isn't it? We often think freedom means, no schedules, total spontaneity.
Right.
But Craig Ballantyne, in the Perfect Day formula, he completely flips that idea. He argues that, actually, real freedom, it comes from having a solid structure. Designing that perfect day and then living it again and again, that's how you build, well, the perfect life, according to him.
Okay, so that's our mission for this deep dive then. We're going to break down how you actually build that kind of structural freedom.
Yeah.
Not just talking high-level ideas, but getting into the real blueprint, the actual formulas, the rules you need to follow, so you can shift from just, reacting to whatever life throws at you.
Like Joe Average, as he calls him.
Right, exactly. To being more like John the CEO, proactive, in control.
And we really have to start with this foundational idea. It feels a bit paradoxical at first, honestly.
Which is?
Structure equals freedom. It sounds weird, right?
Yeah, it does. Like, rules feel restrictive, not freeing.
Exactly. But the argument is when you set up your own rules, your routines, you actually eliminate the constant drain of making small decisions all day long.
Decision fatigue.
Precisely. That's what traps you in bad habits. The rules handle it for you.
Okay. So where does this thinking come from? You mentioned it has deeper roots.
Oh, absolutely. It's deeply influenced by ancient philosophy, specifically Stoicism. Think Epictetus.
Ah, the Stoics.
Yeah.
Control what you can control.
You got it. That's the absolute anchor here. Real happiness, real success, it comes from laser focusing only on what's actually in your sphere of influence.
So my thoughts, my words, my actions.
Exactly. Your deeds. Everything else, the traffic jam, your boss's mood, the stock market, that's all external noise. You cope with it, you adapt, but you don't worry about it.
Okay, that alone feels like it would free up a lot of mental energy. Just letting go of the uncontrollable stuff.
It really does. And that core Stoic idea, it directly translates into the framework for building this perfect day. It's the structural application of that philosophy.
And that's the 3 C's you mentioned.
Yep. The 3 C's: control, conquer, and concentrate.
Control the morning, conquer the afternoon, concentrate in the evening. Makes sense. So let's dive into the first one. Control the morning. This feels like where the daily battleground is.
It really is. The morning is unique because it's the one time you can genuinely shield yourself from the outside world's chaos. It's your time, internally focused.
Before the emails start flooding in, the phone starts ringing.
Right. Ballantyne argues that winning the day versus just playing catch-up, it all hinges on what you do proactively in those first couple of hours, before the world intrudes.
And the first concrete step he suggests seems, well, almost too simple. Just get up 15 minutes earlier.
Just 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But crucially, you have to use that time with intention. That little sliver of time, he calls it magic time. The idea is you can potentially get 3 times as much done because distractions are basically zero and your focus is naturally sharper then.
Yeah, the source mentioned Goethe talking about feeling like revived by sleep and not yet bothered by the absurd trivialities of the day.
Exactly. So that 15 minutes isn't just about being awake. It's about seizing time for your absolute #1 priority before anyone else needs anything from you.
But here's the rub, right? Getting up earlier sounds great, but actually doing it. Willpower often fails.
It almost always fails long term, and that's the key insight. You don't win the morning in the morning, you win it the night before.
Ah, okay. That clicks. You prepare. You can't force yourself awake easily, but you can control your bedtime routine.
Precisely. And that brings us to this really specific, almost prescriptive tool. The 10-3-2-1-0 good night formula.
Right. I've heard about this. Let's break it down. It sounds like it's designed to engineer good sleep.
That's exactly its purpose. Make waking up early feel natural, not like a fight. So, first step, 10 hours before bed, no caffeine.
Oof. That's tough for afternoon coffee drinkers.
Yeah.
But caffeine lingers, doesn't it?
It has a really long half-life, so yeah, that 2 p.m. latte, it's definitely still messing with your deep sleep quality way past midnight.
Okay, rule 1. No caffeine within 10 hours. What's next?
3 hours before bed, no food or alcohol, also critical. Eating late means your body's busy digesting instead of repairing itself during sleep.
And alcohol might help you nod off, but it wrecks sleep quality, right?
Destroys REM sleep, yeah. So you wake up feeling less restored.
Okay, 2 rules down. Requires discipline. As we get closer to bedtime, what about winding down mentally?
That's the next one. 2 hours before bed, no work, period. You have to mentally clock out.
What if your brain's still racing with ideas or tasks?
That's where the brain dump comes in. You literally write down everything, tasks, worries, ideas, whatever's buzzing around, get it out of your head and onto paper.
I like that. It's like giving your brain permission to let go, knowing it's captured somewhere safe for tomorrow. Okay, but the next one. This is probably the hardest for most people now.
Oh yeah, 1 hour before bed, no screens, phones, tablets, TV, computers, off.
Because of the blue light messing with melatonin.
Exactly. It basically tells your brain it's still daytime. So this last hour is for, reading a real book, maybe some light stretching, quiet conversation, analog stuff.
And then the final piece, the big payoff,
Yeah.
0.
0, the number of times you're allowed to hit the snooze button.
Huh. But if you've actually done the 10-3-2-1 prep, hitting 0 should be, well, achievable.
That's the idea. You've engineered an easy wake up, you've controlled the night, so you can control the morning. First C, done.
Okay, so we've controlled the internal environment of the morning. Now comes the external chaos. Conquer the afternoon. This is where the meetings pile up, interruptions happen, energy dips.
Absolutely. This is where the Stoic warnings about external factors really come into play. To defend against this afternoon chaos, you need a solid structure. Ballantyne calls these the 5 pillars of success.
These pillars are like your defense system, your foundation to make sure your goals still get done even when things get messy.
Exactly. Without them, the afternoon just eats up your time and pushes your main priority off the rails.
Okay, let's unpack them. Pillar 1.
Yeah.
Planning and preparation. I thought the analogy used here was really good, mise en place.
Yeah, the chef's ritual, mise en place everything in its place. It's about setting up for success beforehand.
So not just planning what to do, but preparing your environment too.
Critically important. Preparation must include removing friction and, crucially, removing temptation. If your goal involves eating healthy, you prep healthy meals ahead of time. If it's writing, you get your notes ready the night before.
It connects back to that candy bowl example, right? If the tempting thing is right there, visible, easy to grab.
You'll eat more of it, inevitably. But if your preparation involves actually removing the temptation, getting the junk food out of the house entirely, then you don't even need willpower for that specific choice.
You win by default because the choice isn't even there. Smart.
Very smart. Now, pillars 2 and 3 often work hand in hand. Professional accountability and social support.
Okay, accountability makes sense, like having a coach.
Yeah.
But social support, how critical is that?
Hugely critical. You absolutely need both. Think about elite performers, athletes, top execs. They all have coaches pushing them, holding them accountable. That's pillar 2.
Right.
But pillar 3, social support, is about the environment around you. You need to consciously build a circle of allies.
And maybe consciously avoid certain influences.
Yeah.
This leads to that kind of scary crab in a bucket idea, doesn't it?
It does. It's a powerful, if slightly chilling analogy. When one crab tries to climb out, the others pull it back down.
And people can do that subconsciously, out of jealousy maybe, or fear of being left behind.
Often, yes. It's not always malicious, but if you start making big, positive changes, it can make people uncomfortable. And they might, subtly or not so subtly, try to pull you back to the status quo.
So Epictetus's advice, be careful whom you associate with. Really screen your circle.
Absolutely. You need staunch allies cheering you on, and you need that mentor or coach for professional accountability. And remember, Seneca, while we teach, we learn. Mentoring others actually reinforces your own commitment, too.
Interesting. Okay, so we have planning prep, accountability, social support. What's pillar 4?
Pillar 4 is having an incentive. This is all about the power of delayed gratification.
Like the famous Stanford marshmallow experiment.
Exactly that. The kids who could wait for the bigger reward generally had better life outcomes down the road. The principle is work first, then reward.
So you need to build in rewards, but tie them directly to completing the important work. Like if I finish this tough report this afternoon.
Then I get my personal sweetheart, as Ballantyne puts it, whatever that meaningful reward is for you. But the work absolutely has to come first.
Got it. That makes 5 pillars. Oh, wait, only 4 so far. What's the 5th and apparently most important one?
The 5th, and he really emphasizes this, is the big deadline.
This is where Parkinson's law comes in, right? Work expands to fill the time available.
Precisely. If you don't set a firm endpoint, tasks just seem to stretch on forever. A deadline creates urgency and forces focus.
The example used was Sheryl Sandberg's rule about leaving work at 5:30 p.m. for dinner with her kids. That's a non-negotiable daily deadline.
Right, and that hard stop forces incredible efficiency during the workday. It's not about rushing chaotically, it's about making every minute count because the boundary is absolute.
Okay, that's a powerful set of defenses for the afternoon. So we've controlled the morning, conquered the afternoon with the pillars. Now we hit the evening, phase 3. Concentrate on what counts.
Yes. And this is where the freedom part of the structure, freedom equation, really comes in. You've earned this time and energy through your structured day.
But the key is to use it intentionally, right? Not just collapse in front of the TV.
Exactly. Concentrate that earned freedom on things that genuinely matter to your long-term vision, family. Hobbies, learning, self-care, not just mindlessly escaping.
And this seems to be where the idea of having rules for living becomes really central. If the 3 C's are the daily framework, the rules are like your personal operating system.
That's a great way to put it. These rules are your personal philosophies that guide your actions automatically so you don't burn out your willpower making the same decisions over and over.
Like the vegan example. They don't debate eating a cheeseburger. Their rule, I don't eat meat, makes the decision instant.
Exactly. No willpower needed for that choice. So we need to create similar rules for ourselves in key areas.
Can you give some more concrete examples? Ballantyne suggests focusing on just 4 goal areas at a time.
Yeah, he recommends simplifying to one major goal in each of 4 domains: health, wealth, social self, like relationships, and personal enrichment, like learning or hobbies.
Okay.
So your rules should directly support those goals. A wealth rule might be, I never check email before completing my #1 priority task.
Ooh, that's a good one. Protects that magic time.
Right. Or a health rule could be, I stop eating for the day at 7 p.m. A social self rule might be, I refuse to engage in gossip.
They're like boundaries you set for yourself,
Ugh.
defining what you do and, maybe more importantly, what you don't do. The not-to-do list idea.
Yes. The not-to-do list is incredibly powerful for eliminating distractions and bad habits. But how do these small rules connect to big life changes?
That's the link to process goals versus outcome goals, isn't it?
Exactly. You take a huge, potentially intimidating outcome goal like lose 25 pounds,
Yeah.
and you break it down into small, manageable, daily process goals that your rules support.
So instead of focusing on the 25 pounds, you focus on walk 10,000 steps today or follow my no eating after 7 p.m. rule today.
Right. You get a win every single day. You follow the process. That builds momentum and reinforces the rules, making the big outcome almost inevitable over time.
Okay, so if we follow the rules, hit the process goals,
Mm.
that leads us towards the vision. And this isn't just wishful thinking, it's what he calls the law of action attraction.
Yeah, it's a play on the law of attraction, but grounding it firmly in reality. You don't just think your way to success.
Right.
You achieve it through consistent, focused action, hard work, guided by your process goals, enabled by your unbreakable rules, all moving you steadily towards a very clear vision. Your actions attract the results.
And that vision needs to be really vivid, right? Written down, present tense, like it's already happened.
Yes. Big, bold, specific. Imagine your ideal life 3 to 5 years out. Write it down as if it's your current reality. That detailed picture acts as your North Star, keeping you on track when daily challenges or temptations pop up.
Wow. Okay, so it all connects. The rules provide the structure,
Which supports the 5 pillars that help you handle the chaos.
allowing you to execute the 3 C's, control, conquer, concentrate throughout the day.
Which ultimately leads you to achieve your vision and experience that real earned freedom. It's a complete system.
It sounds amazing, but realistically, it's not going to happen overnight. The source does mention that progress isn't always linear, right? There can be plateaus.
Oh, definitely. He's very clear about that. You might be doing all the work, following the rules religiously, but the results seem minimal for a while. It can feel like stagnation.
That's where people might give up.
Exactly. But he stresses that this period of seeming slow progress is often just before a breakthrough, what he calls the whoosh effect. Suddenly, things accelerate rapidly. The key is perseverance. The structure is working. Even when the results aren't obvious day to day, you just have to trust the process and keep going.
Never give up on what's truly important.
Okay.
So, wrapping this up, what does this mean for you listening right now? We want to leave you with a final thought, something to chew on that brings it back to that Stoic foundation.
Yeah, it's a powerful quote, again, drawing from Epictetus, essentially saying, the sooner you commit to your program, the happier you'll be. The longer you delay, the more you risk settling for mediocrity, feeling shame and regret, because deep down you know you're capable of more.
That's quite a challenge.
Yeah.
The knowledge is out there now. The formula's been laid out. So the real question is, What's the one single action, maybe the most important one your vision demands, that you can commit to starting tomorrow?
Don't just think about the formula. Pick one piece. Maybe it's starting that 10-3-2-1-0 tonight. Maybe it's identifying one process goal. Maybe it's finding that accountability partner. Just start.
Stop reacting. Start controlling. It's time to build your perfect day.